What's going on? I've got a special guest tonight. We've got the Moose's Gear Goo review. I almost said that wrong. That is the correct way. How's it going,
Yes.
buddy? Cheers to you, my friend.
Yes. Cheers. It's going good, man. I'm excited to finally be on the podcast. I'm super pumped for you and what you're doing with your channel. So it's cool to be a part of it.
Thank you, man. Let's get that out of the way first. Like, what's up with the name? Like, why did you come up with a name like that? Because I thought it was Moose's like Gear Goo review or Goo Gear reviews. Like, I always mess it up. Like, why did you decide to have it in that order? Like, what does it mean?
That's a good question.
It is Gear Goo review, right?
It is Gear Goo review.
Okay,
yes.
All right.
So the name itself, my nickname's Moose, my street name's Moose, my dance name's Moose. I mean, I've been Moose almost as long as I've been my actual name.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, my name's Chris, but don't let anyone know. But yeah, so I got the nickname Moose in 6th grade when I was riding the school bus home, and some kids saw Bullwinkle on my shirt, and they're like, "You can be Moose Man." So never thought much of it. It stuck. So that's part of who I am as is. But then when it came to YouTube, when I got into it, YouTube was still fairly new. I didn't quite understand it. I'm an old man. I didn't quite know what the YouTubes was, but I saw that some people had like really unique kind of weird names, and I was like, well, shoot, maybe I'll try something to make it a little bit more catchy. But in hindsight, I realized Moose's Gear Goo review is kind of a long name. So I wish I maybe would have shortened it up, but more or less the name represents the things that I'm interested in a very vague way. So Moose is me, Gear, that encompasses almost everything. And then Goo, at the time I was really into getting into backpacking and stuff. And there's the Goo brand, like energy supplement. Which is like a weird jelly paste that triathletes.
I get
use.
it. I know what it is. Cyclists use it and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not a triathlete, so
good for backpacking. I bet though.
I got stories of when I was backpacking where that stuff comes in handy for sure. But that's the Goo, and then reviewing stuff. So
yeah.
And the whole channel itself started when I was shopping one day, and I was looking up a review of a product I was interested in buying, and I realized there was no review of it. Nobody ever reviewed it. And so I was like, well, maybe I should just buy it and test it out and review it and maybe help out some other consumer who might be looking into it. And so that's kind of how the channel started. And then I got into knives specifically because I mean, you're not even asking my origin story, and I'm just blabbing.
No, you should. You should go get into it, dude.
All right. So at the time when I started this channel, I think it was almost 6 years ago. I've been doing this for a while, but like bushcraft survival, actually more survival videos are really popular. And there's some really big survival channels. Prepared Mind 101, Gideon's
He's
Tactical,
the one that got me into YouTube.
Nuttin' Fancy. I think there's a couple other ones, and they're all reviewing knives, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then I started noticing that there's some other smaller channels popping up, and I was like, well, shoot, that channel sucks. I could do I was like, I can at least do that crappy, if not better. So I was like, well, maybe I'll give it a shot. And that's the history of it, and that's how I started.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's an amazing story, origin story. I was watching some of your videos on the way home today, and I was like, yo, he's really doing it. Like the stuff that I think, because look, I have a lot of respect for the tabletop guys. I have a lot of respect for that. But I do think that if we are going to progress and evolve from where we are now, it's like the knife community, the EDC community has so much to catch up to when it comes to the rest of YouTube. Right. Yep. I am almost assuming that you watch a bunch of other content, because the way that you create your videos, especially how you splice in pocket clip shots or just more B-roll, like as you're talking tabletop, which is kind of like what I started doing too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how the tech guys do it. When they're
Yes.
reviewing a phone, they're talking about the phone. It's a front-facing talking head style camera. Then they'll slice in some cool B-roll of like the little function they're talking about. And I
Yes.
think that is going to be like critical or and even crucial to like the evolution of knife YouTube. You know, like there's always going to be room for the spec heavy guys, right? But with
Yeah.
younger people coming in, they're not going to be used to that style, and I don't know if they're going to vibe as much with that. I've been doing YouTube for my channel's been up for almost 4 years,
Hmm.
but I've been on YouTube since 2006. I was
Yeah.
doing a lot of like popping, like glow sticking,
Oh,
breakdancing kind of
popping.
videos. Yeah, like I was fucking really sick, dude. Like if you look up like glow sticking videos on YouTube, like I'm one of the pioneers of it. And I like it was like the
Wow, dude.
Jabberwockies of like party dancing and stuff like that. But
We need to
anyway,
have a dance battle on here.
yeah, but I didn't know that YouTube was gonna be this thing, um, or else I would have kept going. You know what I mean? Like I was unboxing stuff on YouTube even back then. I just
Yeah.
didn't. I was just doing it as a way to host the video for my like Facebook or something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I just didn't know what it was gonna become. But yeah, like I really like what you're doing. How you're incorporating. First of all, the lighting is great. Like I want to ask you for tips on lighting because
Well,
the RGB in the back is like fire, dude. Like how much did that cost?
well, honestly, the one light I actually have it right here
Yeah.
because I was in case I needed to light something,
Yeah.
and that's probably the biggest thing I've invested in over
Mm-hmm.
this last Corona 2020
Yeah.
or COVID 2020,
Yeah.
uh, and that's the Aperture MC light.
I've heard of it.
And I watched tons of reviews. I mean, I follow all the big kind of videographer channels because I was like
McKinnon, right? Daniel
McKinnon,
Schiffer.
Matty
I love.
Hapoya,
Yes.
Potato Jet. Potato
Can-
Jet's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
And I started looking into them because I was like, well, crap.
Mhm.
I don't think I'm that interesting. So at least I can make my videos look good
Mhm.
because I was like, oh, people aren't biting on it as much as they were initially.
Yep.
So then I was like, all right, I got to at least try to improve the quality because worst comes to worst, at least I'll have a video that looks good and sounds good.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of what I've focused on. But I've learned a lot with just it's so much more than just buying, the best light you can get,
Yeah.
Oh snap. Yeah.
Dude, how much was that?
So this thing is a little pricey, but it's pretty awesome.
Like 300 bucks?
No, it's like $100.
That's good, bro. That's good money.
I know it's weird because it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'll spend $150 on a knife, but a freaking battery light,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna spend that much. But
Dude,
yeah.
that is like really cool. So I'm assuming you like dim your lights, and then you
Dim the
must have
lights.
you must have front lights too, right?
Well, I just bought a softbox,
Yeah.
and that's
Nice.
overexposing me. I feel right now, but
It
yeah,
looks pretty good. I got to tell you this to backtrack before I forget to talk about this. I wanted to interject when you were like, "I'm not that interesting." I can tell you right now. Okay, I've interviewed almost 100 people since I've
Yeah.
had this podcast. You are interesting.
Oh, well,
All right,
thank you.
because you're very natural on camera. This is the first time you and I have spoke, and it's already the flow is like very good already. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude. Like I
So-
feel super familiar with you. I've been, I remember that first video I saw where I was like, "What the? Does he have band-aids on his thumbs? Did he?
Yo, I don't have them anymore.
I know.
They're
I was
almost
like, this guy must be terrible with knives. He keeps cutting his thumbs.
I do cut myself a lot though, still. But the doing stupid stuff like flicking it uncontrollably all day, and then maybe I have some strain on my hand where I don't notice it, and then I'm at my shop and maybe like a customer will come in and ask me something, and I'm still going like this, and then like that little strain will make me go off by just a hair, and
Yeah.
it'll get my skin. I mean, I don't have like really bad cuts anymore, but that's usually how it
That's
happens.
the whole reason why I don't do balisongs.
Yeah.
A buddy had a balisong once, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then all of a sudden, slice. I'm like, "This isn't cool anymore."
I want to learn how to do it, maybe with a trainer because I'm Filipino, man. Like we invented the bali. So
I know, dude.
it's
You should be
like-
doing both hands already.
I know. I mean, I can do like the 1, 2, 3. I could do like a couple of things. I could do a finger roll a little bit, and some like aerial stuff is easy for me because of the glow sticking. Like, so I could do a lot of behind the back stuff and things like that. But it's not as smooth as when you watch like Blade Runner Systems videos. You know, what I
Dude.
mean? Those guys are insane.
And nuts. And
Yeah.
I love watching those videos too.
Speaking of them, by the way, like, are you working with them right now?
Yeah, they reached out to me a couple months ago, and they sent me the Revo or the Blade Runner Systems Evolved Ness, or no, the Revo Ness, and then the Nomad.
The Nomad, nice.
And
I like them a lot. Just like the kind of company that they are. Blade Runner Systems, you know, that is like a very, very well-known company, and at least in the Bali song world, right? Then they made BRS Evolve, which is like, I definitely handled a few knives that were really cool. Revo knives, what I like about them is they are playing in that budget market along with Civivi, CJRB, but love the Ness. Oh, I have my Ness. Shit, it's up there. But I actually do really like it. When I first opened it, I didn't understand it, but off video, I was like holding it and like just playing around with it. I was like, this is freaking cool, dude. Like, and that's what I like about what they're doing. It's like they're not sticking to cookie cutter safe designs, which I feel like most of the knife companies are doing right now in that budget realm. They're going for like really out there stuff. They're using the same materials or maybe slightly better or slightly worse in some areas, but they're really going for it with the designs. And I really like that because we need more diversity with designs when it comes to the budget market.
No, I totally agree. And I mean, I think just the market in general, it's been up and down this last year for me because I've really been bored. Like there's some stuff that like comes out and just catches my eye, but I'm so picky now compared to what I used to be because I've seen so many different knives. Yeah. You know, and now unless something's like unique, and that's kind of the big thing with this. Like I'm always worrisome when there's unique shapes because I was like, how is it gonna feel in my hand?
Exactly. That's what I thought too, dude.
I'm not a collector as much as I'm a user. And so if it's not gonna be comfortable to hold, you know, it's useless to me. Yeah. But this was incredibly comfortable. And then the other thing that I liked about it was the actual Nessmuck blade shape. Yeah. And if you know, some people aren't familiar with like history and the history of knives, but that was one thing that caught my eye right away, is like, that's a Nessmuck. And you know, it's cool how they can take those historic meaningful designs from our ancestors and our past and update them and then put them into a folding knife. I just thought that was genius.
So. Yeah, people keep telling me like, oh, that's the Nessmuck blade. And I don't know what it is because like I didn't grow up like collecting knives or anything. Like I am so into it now. And I've said this so many times in a podcast, but people keep telling me like, no, that's not what you are. You're not a filthy casual like knife person. But I feel like I am because although I'm fortunate that I get to check out so many knives because of the Apex Pass Around group. Are you a part of that, by the way?
No.
Do you want to be a part of it?
I suppose I could. I don't know.
No, if you want, do you know what it is?
I'm assuming it's a pass around group that passes around knives.
It is probably the biggest pass around group in knife YouTube today. And I think there are over 40 companies working with us, including We Knives, Artisan Cutlery, Urban EDC, which is really like all the big dogs. All the big dogs are rolling with us, except for like Spyderco. We pretty much have everyone. CRKT, Kershaw sends us stuff. Literally all the companies have decided like, okay, there is like a crap load of awesome reviewers here that are going to allow us to send them stuff. And most of the time, like we don't get to keep it. Sometimes we do. Like some companies are like, yo, when you're done, do a raffle for everyone who's made videos on it, and they get to keep it. I've been able to win a Spyderco Shaman. I've won like a bunch of knives. Yeah, and I've only been
sweet.
Yeah, and all you got to do is make videos. That's it. You make videos within like, I think the turnaround time for one knife is like, I think like 2 weeks or something, which is like not it's pretty long for most people. For me, it's like not that long because I take a long time. But I think you should be a part of it. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm open to definitely checking things out and
nice
getting my hands on gear.
All your friends are in it. Zach, JT, Big Red. We're all in it, bro. Therapeutic Edge, geared toward gear. Like we're all in the thing, I think, you know. So Shabazz is in it. Cedric and Ada is in it.
I need to get in this.
Yeah, I'm gonna put your name in the we have a thread for channels that you nominate. I've nominated a few guys, but
Mhm.
I always mention people that I think are also like content creator minded, and you're definitely
Mhm.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
dude, you
I,
are doing it. I super impressed with just everything that I watch. I watched 3 videos: the CRKT, the Pilar, right? The
yeah,
Pilar 3, and then I call it the Pilar sometimes too. But someone corrected me and said
it's
that
my
no,
Minnesota
it's
talk.
like
That's
Ernest Hemingway's boat is the Pilar. It's Spanish. It's a Spanish girl's name. I was like, okay, Pilar, okay. So and then I watched your channel update video, which I thought was really awesome too.
oh, thanks,
Just
man.
a nice heartfelt message to your viewers. And then I watched the 7 knives, like that.
Challenge.
Yes, I watched that one. Just you're making knife content the way that like tech content is produced. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the kind of, like if you look at the really big EDC guys like Jeremy Sayers, Best Damn EDC, they've got B-roll, bro. They've got some production chops, you know, and like I know most of the knife community, not because they're more centered to EDC, right?
Uh huh.
Um, we still have a ways to catch up, but you know, guys like me and you and Everyday Minimalist, even Bearded Gear, who does stuff outside, is
Yeah,
starting.
I was just watching his channel today.
Love
I
his
was like,
channel. Yeah, love
man,
his
that dude's
channel.
dope.
But you're, dude, I love what you're doing, man. Just keep it up. You know, whatever I can do to help out, whatever, just hit me up for collab. Anything you want, dude.
Oh, for sure, man. No, I appreciate it. I
Hmm.
mean, the biggest thing I've learned with doing this and then trying to improve my quality is that, like I said, it isn't about having all the best tools. It's in reality for me, the better content I make is based on how much time I have.
Yeah.
I am not patient. I don't have a lot of time, or I just procrastinate, and I'm terrible with my time because I throw these videos together so fast.
Me
It's
too.
stupid. And that's why like you'll catch me slipping in my videos and be like, man, like sediment.
That was so funny.
I was
That
like,
was so funny,
because I
bro.
do everything in one take.
Hmm.
Every video I make is in one take. And
Hmm.
so I'm just throwing them up, and I'm trying to do B-roll. I'm still trying to figure out B-roll.
I'm gonna give you a tip on how I do it. Maybe it'll help you. So me and Jared from Neves and I's talked about this. And the
Yeah.
way I do it is here, let me look at one of them actually. I have like a set amount of parameters that I want to follow, right?
Yeah.
And I just try to make sure that I hit all of those. And let me see if I have it here. Fuck, I don't know if I can find it right now. Give me 1 sec. All right, I got it. I got one. Okay, so I try to hit aesthetics, action, blade length, blade material, handle scales, ergonomics, weight, pocket clip, and price. And in the when I get to the price section, I also do my conclusion, or if I think it's worth it or not. So what I
Yeah.
do is the way that you do it is I do the talking part first, where I talk to the camera, and let's say I'm reviewing the Kaiser M Stealth. I literally talk about it in this angle,
Yep.
right? And I'll be like, I'll talk about the things, right? And then what'll happen is after I'm done with that, I also film separately those points that I want. So I will have a shot close up of aesthetics, of
Yep.
action, blade length, and all that, and then I splice it in after, kind of like what you're doing now. So if I
Yeah.
follow
Yeah.
that checklist, I can get it done pretty quickly. Whereas in before, I was kind of like just gung ho doing whatever and then figuring it out later. If I follow that kind of guideline, I can probably get like 2, 3 videos done a day. I've never done that. I probably could though.
Two
I
or
probably
three videos done a
no.
day.
Listen,
Wow.
no. I mean shot, not edited.
Oh,
Shot,
I was
yeah,
like,
shot, yeah.
holy cow, dude, you're a
I
machine.
haven't done that. I haven't done that. I've never filmed 3 reviews in one day. I filmed maybe a review and an unboxing in one day because an unboxing is easy. It's all
Oh,
natural.
unboxings are great. I love
Yeah. It's
unboxings.
it's a good way to get like content on your channel. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I do it basically.
Yeah. And I've definitely kind of have my format for my videos. You know, I go over the specs.
Hmm.
I talk about the blade, talk about the handle. I need to format my B-roll to match those, and that's a good tip you just gave me there.
Film the B-roll after to match the
Yeah,
criteria.
and I try to film it after, but the thing is, if I have time to film B-roll, but the thing too is like I'm still trying to dial in like how do I want to film the B-roll, because I'm playing with like slow motion. This last video I did, I had like slow motion, but then it kind of looked wonky, but I didn't know that until I was already editing, and I was like, and so I'm like still trying to figure out the settings on my camera. I've had this camera for 2 years, 3 years.
What kind of camera you got?
Out, but I'm rocking the Canon M50.
Nice. How much was that?
This was, I mean, it fluctuated at the time. I got the video creator kit off like B&H, so it came with a microphone and like a SD card.
Yeah.
And then it came with the kit lens, and it was around $600.
Dude, do you know that I live near B&H?
What?
Yeah, B&H is one of the biggest photography stores in America.
Yeah, and it's like the only thing that can compete with Amazon.
Yeah, so on 34th Street, I think it's on, I want to say it's on 38. It's on 30 something street. I've been there many times, and when you get in there, it's crazy because
Really?
the way you buy things is like you have to get a ticket from like where you're talking about it. So it'll be behind glass and all that. Let's say you get the M50.
Yep.
And then you're talking to a person, and then they tell you about it. Then they give you a ticket to go to another place, kind of like a coat check. And then you have to like pick up the item there, and then you pay for it at a different place.
And then they just have it for you.
And it's like just lines of people. But that place has been opened for so long. It's family owned.
Yeah, no, it's
a staple, dude.
It's one of my favorite websites to shop on, and
very cool.
I between Amazon and B&H, that's definitely where I got the stuff. But this thing's really impressed me, because besides doing this, I'm starting to do like photography for my friends, because everybody wants to be an Instagram model now, I guess.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm taking pictures of my friends, and I'm doing like photo shoots for them. So
yeah,
you know, I try to put everything I have at multi-use. I just need to like do my own Instagram more with it. But
wait, is it like dudes or like hot girls or like
well, they're ladies. I've only done like 2 photo shoots so far, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm a dancer, and I'm a partner dancer. And
there's a lot of hot girls.
I have plenty of beautiful friends, and you know, whatever. If my buddy wants a photo, I'll do a photo shoot with him too. I guess I don't care.
But you know, that's how some of the vloggers that you and I follow like earn a living. Like they have their YouTube, but they also do freelance photography and cinematography, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like I figured any opportunity I have to use the camera, the better I'm gonna learn how to use it.
Yes.
And so that's kind of what I just need to do more B-roll.
Yeah.
I just need to B-roll the heck out of something.
Yeah. What do you edit on right now?
I edit on my Pavilion computer. It's an HP,
what do you
the
using?
software is like someone I got on like clearance off Amazon. What is it? It's Movie Studio Platinum 14.
That sounds crazy.
It's so it came out in like 2014.
Yeah.
And, that's the software I'm using, but I mean it allows me, it's old enough that it's simple enough for me to use.
Yeah.
Because all I really need is to lay down a soundtrack, which I'm also dabbling in trying to find music. And then do the B-roll cuts and stuff like that, and just add some basic titles. But
you know what? That's awesome, and I want to get back to content creation, but I want to keep some of the knife people like in this.
Oh yeah.
Like what have you been carrying lately? Like what's your go-to right now?
Dude, my 2020 knife of the year, the mini bug out. The mini bug out. I can't stop carrying this knife. I fell in love with it as soon as it came out. I mean, I was already a fan of the regular size bug out. And just being a backpacker, being in the woods all the time when I can get out there, nothing scares me more than dropping the $100 knife that I bought. So the fact that it's orange, I love it. But two, it's small enough and light enough that you can carry it anywhere. So that's my primary one that I carry. I've also been carrying the Ace.
Oh yeah.
The giant mouse Ace Iona.
Cool.
Fell in love with this one too. It definitely has the qualities that I like for like backpacking again. You carry pocket clip M390 blade.
That's awesome.
And then actually, I guess these are kind of the 4 ones I carry the most. This
Odium.
one, the Odium,
Love
fell
it.
in love with this one after I
Love
got
it.
the Mini Archbishop. I actually watched Backpack B's video, and that's where I saw
Dude,
the
I
Archbishop.
love Backpack B, man.
Dude, I watched him because of you, man.
That's another dude, right? Where it's like this
Dude, he's
guy.
next level.
Exactly. Like if you think about just motion graphics, he like puts like the biggest YouTubers to shame. You know what I mean? With what he could do.
Oh.
He's insane.
Yeah,
It's insane. He won like 2 Emmys. Did you know that? He won 2 Emmys. He works on like sports television, and he won 2 Emmys for like graphics. I'm like, okay, we're lucky to have him. Like, I know.
I was like, man.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love that dude.
Yeah, I love the logo he did for you too there.
Oh man, you know what's crazy is I Googled like neon light graffiti style logos on Google, and then I sent him like a few, right? Like I saw like Radio City Music Hall, and it had like a mic in the center, and it had like the city in the background with some stars, and I was like, I kind of want something like this, but maybe with a knife in the middle. And I was like, you know what, let's put a PLR in the middle. And then like I told him just that, and then like 2 days later he sends me the video.
You did that in 2 days?
Yeah. He did it in 1 day. He's like, yeah, I'm working on your he's like I'm working on your logo now. That was like Sunday morning. And then Sunday, like right before nighttime, maybe like 5 p.m., he was like, yo, here's some stuff that I did. And I was like, these are freaking amazing. Like, you don't need to do anymore. I couldn't have paid for a better logo. You know what I mean?
Or if you would have been paying.
I tried to give him money, bro. He was like, nah, you've done a lot for me. I was like, what? I'm like, you're gonna make me cry, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
And then, he's gonna be like John Wick coming for a favor later.
I know, right? He's like, yeah, remember your logo? No, I mean, yeah, I'll do anything for him, and that dude is really awesome. But
talented guy.
What were we talking about before I got spun around?
Knives I was carrying.
Okay. I'm kind of on the fence on this one. This is the We Knives Mini Synergy. I got this one from the Pass Around
group.
Apex
that was wicked.
You know what's crazy is I think you and I have similar taste in blade length and size of the knife, right?
Yes.
And this, you know what's crazy is it's really good ergonomically. The blade shape is interesting.
Very interesting.
But like it's stiff, bro. Like the frame lock, I don't know, like it's stiff to me, and it's $300. I'm like, what the, you know what I mean? Like I play in the $100 section. That's kind of like where I go.
Yeah, but my range is like $50 to $100.
Yeah, it's like
I look for budget knives. I look for budget knives hard that I like, but
I showed you this one earlier. This is probably my favorite right now. This is the
yeah, that thing looks wicked.
This is probably the best thing I've tried in like the past 2 or 3 weeks.
I like this. It's like a reverse Tonto.
Good size, perfect size. This is a perfect ray knife. Very lightweight, actually. I think it's like 1.6.
Really?
Yeah,
dang.
Dude, it's freaking light. If you look inside, the milling is so deep, but it's still like really tough. Rounded spine on the blade, which is crazy for a knife that's less than $200. It's like $169, I want to say. If you put a discount code on White Mountain Knives, you could probably get it for like $145. Very nice knife. Love it. That's probably the 2 that I've been carrying the most. Let's get back to like content creation a little bit. So like, you know, I know that with your channel update video, you said you're gonna like do more. How often do you upload videos usually?
Well, so when I started off once a week. And then I a lot of my subs actually got when I was doing an unboxing of a subscription box. Once a month I'd
Going gear?
The Karen box, which was a box curated for like backpackers and campers.
Oh, sick.
So early in my YouTube channel, I would do one every month. And so whenever those would come in the mail, I'd quick pop it up, because a lot of times views has to do with how fast you get your video out there. And so I was doing those types of videos, but I would always try to do a knife video once a week. And so that's kind of been the meat and potatoes behind my channel. And I still do I always try to get at least one video out a week, unless I'm like dying of, I actually was when I had COVID, I was actually putting
You
out.
had COVID?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, it sucked, man. COVID, bleh, not fun.
Yo, how bad was it? Like, how long were
Yeah,
you?
I mean, I was not. It could have been way worse. Obviously, I mean, I could have died, but no, I feel like I was pretty lucky.
Yeah.
But it was just miserable. It was just like a really miserable feeling, and it. When I compare it to the flu, yes, it was similar in ways, but the biggest difference was that COVID symptoms for me personally would fluctuate. So one minute I'd just be feeling like poo, and then the next minute I'd start feeling fine. Like it would just go up and down. And so like it was always these like false flags of like, oh, I'm getting over it. It only lasted one
Oh,
day.
snap.
And then all of a sudden the last thing, it just drop kicks me in the face with no flavor, and I couldn't taste
Wow.
anything. And that was probably the
Oh,
absolute worst thing that ever happened.
wow, dude, I would hate that. I would
Dude,
hate that. Oh,
yeah, I mean, I'm a chubby dude, man. Nothing's worse than losing the taste of food.
did you lose a lot of weight on COVID?
No, because I mean, overall, it lasted for me like 6 days from
Okay.
the first symptom to the last maybe 7.
Yeah.
And just being older, I know that when I'm sick, I still need to eat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
so I just started pumping myself full of every nutritious and non-nutritious food item I could find. So I think I gained weight.
Dude, at least you stayed healthy though. You didn't, fucking succumb to it.
But no, it sucked. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know a few people in the knife community that have gotten it now. They're all fine. People that, because I listen to a lot of comedians' podcasts, and some of them that have got it where it infected their GI tract. That's the one that's long. Like they have it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I had my sister's friend. He had it, and he lost his sense of taste for like 3 weeks.
Damn.
Like there's different symptoms.
You lose sense of smell too. Some people, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I knew a guy that died from it, and he was only 20 years old.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy.
But yeah, and then there's other people that my friend's a nurse, and she deals with COVID patients, and she said some people lose their taste permanently.
That would be insane, but also really good for getting shredded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could eat somebody's cooking and you won't hurt their feelings.
You could just buy like food that isn't expensive but like healthy, and then you would just save so much money because you don't care what anything tastes like.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there you go. Find the silver lining, but yeah.
That's crazy, bro. That's
crazy.
I
mean, a lot of stuff happened, man, this last year. 2020 was gnarly. So
it was pretty wild.
I live in Minnesota, so like the whole George Floyd thing
was crazy.
It was crazy. I met the guy. I knew the guy.
What?
Well, I didn't know him closely, but yeah, I crossed paths with him, shook his hand.
He's like, I used to pick up dime bags from him. I'm just kidding. I'm like,
no. Like it was.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a small world. Like it's weird when you like see someone in that type of situation, and you're like, oh shit, like shoot, I saw that guy like 2 weeks ago.
That's insane.
It's been a crazy year. So
it definitely has, man. Like in New York City, I remember when the pandemic, the quarantine first started. Like I didn't leave my apartment for 3 months, bro.
Dang,
I didn't leave my apartment for I only left to throw out the garbage in like a little garbage area in the building. That's it. That's all I did. All our food was delivered.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's New York City. You get everything delivered, right? So we looked up, which, delivery service was the most competitive, and Fresh Direct was the one that made sense for us. And even up to now, Fresh Direct comes once a week, and we just get our food from there. We don't go grocery shopping. But it's nuts because you would think that I should have gotten it because like I'm in New York City. I take the train every day, 2 times. I take 4 trains a day, basically.
Yeah.
Right. And my commute is 2 hours per day.
And you're passing people left and
Sometimes
right.
Them trains are fucking packed, bro. Even now.
Yeah.
So everyone has masks. Like most people, I would say maybe like out of like 30 people, 2 people will not have it. Right. And it's weird because you have to be in that same train car for like almost an hour.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it, and I work 6 days a week, and I don't know. I just don't know what's up. But things are definitely opening up. I ate in a tent on Saturday night. New York
It's like
City.
camping, man.
Yeah, dude, backpack time. So this is what
Yeah.
happened. Like in Koreatown, Koreatown is only 2 blocks long. So what they did was they stopped you. They don't allow driving through those streets anymore.
Yeah.
And what happens is all the restaurants have like built these outdoor enclosures.
Like
Like
bubbles or something.
dude, some of these are pretty fucking high tech. They got like fucking central AC and central heat and all that. Like it's crazy. It's like they built another structure outside of the restaurant that always has like one door open, so it's not quote unquote inside, but
Oh
it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
technically is.
Yeah.
And that is legal in New York City. And you know, I mean, I'm sure they're barely surviving still. But when I went over to eat with my fiance, the Kelly, um, it was all packed, bro. All the tents were packed.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, there's this like thin sheet of plastic like polyurethane glass or something, like separating us from like
Yeah.
a family of 8 just eating like a few feet away. Not even 6 feet. I'm talking like 3 feet
Dude.
right here. So I'm like, you know, I'm like, whatever. I'm just like eating my, you know, bulgogi, like Korean barbecue or whatever. Like,
Dude.
it's fine. But that's basically what it's like in New York City, you know?
Yeah.
New York City survives, but it's definitely been wild. How
Yeah,
about
well-
work, man? How about work for you, like with this whole
Well,
thing?
so I work at a school.
Yeah.
I work with students. Basically, I'm an educational assistant, and so I work with students who just need assistance that might struggle a little bit. And then besides that, I also work at a butcher shop,
Oh,
and
snap.
so yeah, I sell hot dogs.
Oh, I thought you meant like you do the.
No. So working at a school, that's my primary job. You know,
Yep.
it gives me pay. Not, I mean, working at a school, you don't make much money, but you know, it gives me my benefits. You know, dental, you know, insurance, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but in the summer, I don't have work, and so.
Mhm.
Working at a butcher shop here in Minnesota, that's the busy season at a butcher shop because it's grilling season. So once people can get outside and start cooking outside, then they come into the meat shop and buy steaks and burgers and whatever. And so, which is weird because like I've worked there for quite some time now, and I'm really not a meat person
Really?
as much as like you'd think working there. Like I love burgers and pizza, probably my 2
Yeah.
favorite foods, and then tacos are next. But I'm not a steak guy. I don't crave steak.
You don't eat
It's-
like elk and shit. You don't go hunting.
I'm not. The only hunting I do is I hunt for Bigfoot, but no, I don't do hunting. I didn't want to do hunting because I just didn't want to get my knives messy with like gutting animals and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess in a way, I'm kind of a conservationist. You know, I respect
Right.
animals and stuff, and you know, why do I need kill a moose or something to just have some tacos? So
I think for me, right. I think watching shows like Meat Eater and like listening to a lot
great
of
show.
Yeah, I
just
love
started
Meat
watching
Eater.
that. Yeah.
So like the reason I've always thought that factory farming was fucked up, but I always thought that like I don't have a choice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I kind of still don't have a choice because I'm not. First of all, I've never gone hunting. I don't even have a hunter's license, and there's nowhere for me to go hunting in New York City. I'd have to
Yep.
go way far out, and I don't got that kind of money either. So,
Yep.
but if I had the choice, if I could sustain myself through ethical pursuit, right, of hunting, then I would. I totally would, and I would just not buy anything from like the grocer anymore. You know what I mean? I'd buy like some things, kind of like I like that way of living, like going back to the way we were, where it's like I listen to Steven Ranella on Meat Eater, and this is a guy that like hunted his whole life, but like probably like the biggest conservationist if you think about it, the way he
Yes. Well, and that was the thing I was most impressed with him because,
Mhm.
like, you know, there's definitely 2 different types of gun owners. There's 2 different types of hunters. Like, there's always a spectrum of
Mhm.
people in every activity.
Yeah.
Even knife video
Yeah.
channels and
There's
stuff.
a-
You know,
They're
but
definitely on the spectrum.
I mean, the guy is incredibly intelligent, and he definitely has a much more conservationist look
Mhm.
at what he does and what he hunts. And you know, I respect that way more than any sort of like trophy hunting, where you're
Oh
not
yeah, yeah,
hunting to like bring food to your table. You're hunting for, you know, some
yeah,
antlers or something.
yeah, yeah. I'm definitely not into that.
Yeah, and you know, I totally respect that. And I mean, growing up, I wished I was Native American or Asian, and and I could tell you that story in a second, but just know, knowing that you know the Native Americans were the greatest ethical animal lovers on the planet before, you know, their cultures were kind of put on reservations because they
Yeah, yeah,
worked in tandem with nature, and
yep. I
it's
like that
just
too.
brilliant. But as far as like we're kind of stuck because factory farming's there, the big corporate farms. I had some of my friends are vegan, and they're like, "Why don't you just be a vegan, Moose?" And I was like, "Because have you tried a vegan burger? They're terrible." No,
Yeah,
um,
they are,
but
and I've supposedly had some of the best here, and
yes,
they're not great for me.
yeah,
That's a no for me, dog.
right. When you have a good burger, it's a good burger. But the thing that I said to her is like, "Well, okay, what if I stop? What if everybody stops? Now we
Mhm.
have thousands of head of cattle running across the wilderness. Do you know what happens when there's that many cattle that are
Yeah.
introduced into an environment that they don't belong in? That's
Yep.
what created like the Dust Bowl and like led into like the Great Depression is the fact that they're not an ungulate designed to live in the grasslands and they turn it into a desert.
Yep. Same
Sorry
thing
to
with
go.
pigs.
Yeah,
Same thing with pigs, bro. When you leave a domesticated pig in the wild, it becomes wild, like quick.
yeah.
That's
And then
what's
it
going on in
destroys
Texas
stuff.
right now.
It destroys stuff,
Yeah.
man. So
And I think people don't get that, you know?
so it's like, all right, I'll be vegan once I eat all the cows. You know what I mean? So it's like either we got to get rid of the domesticated cows to an extent where they're not going to destroy the environment and like kill out all the native species, or we just keep factory farming them and whatever. So I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's
They must love that answer.
oh they hate. Well, I don't think they ever heard that question. My one friend, you know, bless her
Mhm.
heart, like she was just like, I guess I never thought about it. Like, what do
Yeah.
we do with all these cows once if
No, and
everyone
then
just
the
stops?
other thing, right, is like I'm gonna bring up this is the most I've talked about like hunting and conservation and stuff on a podcast before, like ever. Uh, you'll understand this because you're a Steven Ranella fan, but you know, in New Jersey, for example, like there's an area where like there's too many bears.
You
Yeah,
got
so
bears in Jersey?
yeah, yeah. So
What?
basically, what happens, and this is how it was explained to me. Because before, when I didn't have any knowledge, I never listened to ethical hunters talk before. I always thought hunters were like, you know, big belly, drinking a Budweiser, like shoots a buck. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's what I thought
Yeah.
hunters were.
Well, we
You know,
got
even
some of those here.
me,
Yeah.
of course, like even in the movie, the Wolverine, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
remember he found the hunters and like he's like you use poisoned arrows, bub. Remember that they killed the
Yeah,
bear?
yeah, yeah.
That's my idea of what hunters were until I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast and he had all these ethical hunters like Cam Haines, Stephen Ranella, Remy Warren, these guys, like these bow hunters that like really have to, you know, like basically hunt for like days and maybe not catch anything at all, and they still do
Yeah.
it anyway.
Yeah.
Like that is an honorable pursuit to me. And what they do with that meat is they bring it home. They feed their families with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They put in the work.
yeah.
They killed it as ethically and in the appropriate fashion as possible. And
Mhm.
you know, in a way, it's what we need to do since there's limited predators out there now.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, totally respectful.
But the bear thing, right? It's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so people were like, so when a bears are in season and you could hunt them, it's because there's going to be an overpopulation of them, right? And
Yep.
what happens when there's an overpopulation of them? They all fight for food. They all
They
don't
get
have
into
enough food.
garbage and
They get into
crouch
garbage and
into.
they might kill somebody. But
Yep.
what people don't understand, especially people who don't understand those type of things, is they'll say like, "Why are you killing bears?" And I'm like, because if there's too many, if it's like not controlled, right? Like they're gonna come to where we live,
Yep.
basically. And like, yo, I have nephews and nieces in Jersey that are like 10. Like, I don't want it to get eaten by a bear, you know. But it's like,
Yeah.
if it's controlled, where it's like you're not trying to eradicate them, The way like Steven Ranella talks about it, I can't, I'm not that good at describing it, but the way he describes it is hunting pays for actual conservation, like all the tags and stuff pay for more animal rights protection, like wildlife reserves and stuff,
Yep.
more than any organization in the world, like
It
more than
does.
PETA. Yeah, that's what
It
people don't
does.
understand.
The money goes to like the DNR, and it
Yeah,
helps keep tabs on population. It
exactly.
helps them round up animals that are causing problems in a certain area. It
Mhm.
sets up certain
Yeah.
specialized hunts.
Yep.
It also sets up programs for like hunters with like disabilities and stuff to
Yeah,
get
it's all
opportunities.
like
So
good shit, really. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like we don't get eaten by bears and we get some meat, and it's like ethical. You know what I mean? I'm not into the whole like I don't know.
as ethical as it can be.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want it to be like that. That's how I picture it.
Yeah.
If I had the choice and like Kelly forced me to move to North Carolina or something, fucking get the license and it'll be like everyday country carry or something like that.
City Slickers 4.
I know, right?
I don't even know how many City Slickers movies there are,
But so
that's awesome.
I am glad to have you on here, but now I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Yes.
And I want to ask you if you're familiar with the game Are You Garbage?
You briefly explained it to me.
Okay. So
sure, yes.
It is a podcast by H. Foley and Kevin James Ryan. They are comedians and they do this much better than me. Please watch the podcast if you haven't checked it out. Are You Garbage Podcast on YouTube, iTunes, wherever. Basically, what they do is they take their favorite comedians or favorite people and they ask them a series of questions to determine whether they're classy or absolute trash, right? Now, financial standing or social status does not determine whether you're classy or trashy, because I've worked for people that have had hundreds of $1 millions in the bank and they don't even clean their ears right. I've seen them pull out like an AirPod that used to be filled with wax. It's disgusting. That is a trashy move. Now, things like that, things like stealing silverware out of a restaurant, also trashy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's things like that, but it's really mainly an excuse to dive deep into nostalgia and kind of like a trip down memory lane with you so the viewers get to know you. Like, do you want to play the game?
Yes, I'm down. Let's do it.
Okay, so let's just talk about like how you grew up. When you were growing up as a kid, did you guys grow up with money?
No, we were poor.
So you were lower income family, not middle class, right?
We're on the cusp at
lower middle.
Like there's sometimes we were lower, sometimes we were
like right in the corner. You're like hopping back and forth.
We're upper lower class.
Okay. Upper lower class. I like that. That's I think where we were too. Yeah.
I mean, but I kind of grew up like my dad's Mexican. He grew up as a farm laborer, like a labor worker in the fields, sugar beet fields. And then, it is the 80s and Reaganomics, and I don't know. It's
getting crazy.
We're poor, but we got by. I didn't know any better. My parents made me think I had everything I wanted, so it was good.
Okay, a loving household. That's always awesome. Similar upbringing for me. My mom immigrated here and then brought us later. And it was my mom raising 4 boys. So we definitely didn't have a lot of money. My mom was still figuring it out. She was a secretary, and you don't make a lot of money doing that until much later. So definitely a similar thing, but loving household, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. Growing up, did you have a glass of milk with dinner?
I don't think so. I think milk was reserved for cereal in the morning.
Good.
But I do live in dairy country, so I think it depended on the meal.
Okay.
Like if
how
we're
about
having
spaghetti?
Spaghetti, yes, most likely I had some sort of milk.
Do you have that now?
I don't crave pasta.
Oh shit! What?
I'm not a pasta dude. I love food, but there's certain foods I do not crave.
You don't like pasta?
You don't
like pasta. You don't like steak.
I'll eat it. I don't crave it.
What is like your go-to meal then? Like, what is your favorite meal?
Pizza and burgers, man. Tacos, tacos, pizza, burgers.
Ooh.
I guess if I had to choose one, yeah. I mean, I was just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I keep it simple too, but.
Dude, the pizza, burgers, and tacos thing, that is not bad.
Those are my three food groups.
That sounds good to me. My mouth is watering right now. My
Yeah.
fiance has me on this crazy militant diet right now. We're like,
Oh
I
man.
barely have anything.
Oh, you're looking
Um,
sharp, man. Looking fit.
I work out 6 days a week, bro. I feel like she just cracks the whip and she's like, you can have 4 ounces of meat, one
So,
third cup of veggies, 1/4 cup of brown rice every meal. And I have 3 meals of those. And then I have 3 eggs and 3 pieces of bacon at 12 noon. I don't eat
dude.
past 7 p.m.
Well, I don't do that
Insane.
either. I'm on a diet right now. I've lost 10
Yeah.
pounds in the
Nice.
last
Yo,
couple
nice.
weeks.
He's from COVID. I'm just kidding. No.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna file
Hey.
that one in the classy section. Oh, actually,
Oh,
no.
okay.
No, you're in the trash section because you have it with spaghetti.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, man.
Okay.
Minnesota.
So, all right. Have you ever owned a chia pet?
No.
How about a
I always
large
wanted one. We couldn't afford it.
chia, right? How about a
Yeah.
How about a singing largemouth bass?
Always wanted one.
Dude, that's a good answer. So we're gonna put that in the fancy pile there. So you're 1-1 right now.
All right.
If I go to your house, this is a new one. I've never asked this one before. If I go to your house and I ask for water, what are you giving me? Bottled, Brita or filtered, or tap?
Straight from the tap, man. Straight tap water.
In Minnesota, is that like good? I mean, like New York City has some of the cleanest water apparently, and I don't drink from the tap. I used to in my other apartments, but my apartment now, it's like stuff comes out and like it's sedimentary, kind of like the
sedimental. Yeah. Sedimentary.
Minerals.
I mean, we're in the land of 10,000 lakes, so there's water
Mhm.
everywhere. Depending on where you're at, I mean, if you're out in the woods, like everything tastes like iron.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I like our city water.
Yeah.
And two, I was kind of converted. There was a show with Zac Efron on Netflix.
Okay.
And I forgot what it's called, but it's like The World According to Zac Efron or something.
Okay.
And he travels around the world doing all these like healthy things, but there's one episode purely dedicated towards water. And the first like 10 minutes of that episode changed my life as far as what I think about water.
Whoa.
They were talking about how like purified water is bad for you.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
And because it just takes out all these natural minerals and elements that your body needs. Now, obviously, tap water's manipulated in a way and it has like fluoride and all that stuff added to it, but they say tap water is better than purified water. So
yeah, I've heard that. I was listening to a podcast called Your Mom's House. It's a comedy podcast, and they had a water sommelier on it.
Yeah.
For those of you who do not understand what that word means, a wine sommelier is like a guy who's like an expert in wine. He'll talk to you at the restaurant. This guy was a water sommelier, and he would like tell you what the best bottled waters were, and there were these fucking weird ones from like Sweden and stuff. And then and he had a crazy like accent.
It's probably the same guy that was on that show.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
As soon as I saw that episode, I literally went to the grocery store and bought like 4 or 5 different of these waters because it's water. How much different can it taste? And it's legit, dude.
Yeah.
Like what is it? I forgot the number. Is like a PSI or no, not PSI, but like.
There's something about the minerals in it, right?
Yeah, the content, and like some water is like thicker than others, and like when you were pouring it and you actually paid attention, you're just like, holy cow, that's amazing.
The dude was like, when he was a little kid, he was excited to try different tap waters wherever he would go. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He made a profession for himself just doing this, and he had some weird water from like Europe or something, and he would shake it and it would turn all creamy. I was like, what the hell?
What?
Yeah, because of the minerals or something. Yeah, it's definitely, he said it's an acquired taste, but this is very healthy for you.
Yeah, no, there's a couple ones I tried that were just like, okay, that's weird. Not good. Don't taste it. Bad flavor.
Yeah. All right. So you're going to go with tap. I have to file that one into the garbage pile because an aristocrat is going to give me bottled water, probably.
Heck no.
They don't care about the environment. All right. What was your childhood grocery store? Where did your folks shop at? Was it a local brand? Was it ShopRite, Pathmark? Like what?
So I don't know at the time. I believe it was either Kowalski's or Cub Foods, which is a chain here in Minnesota.
Are they big? Are they fancy?
Cub Foods in the metro area here is pretty big. Kowalski's is the more fancy one, but it was more like we only shopped there because that was all there was.
Yeah.
Though, growing up with my dad who grew up in South Texas in a border town, you know, he grew up eating tortillas and Mexican Tex-Mex food all the time.
All
So
right.
the only place when we were growing tortillas was like you had to travel to like the Mexican neighborhood in South St. Paul just to the Mexican grocery store to get tortillas, because I live in the North Burbs.
Yeah.
But the only other place you get tortillas was like from a Taco John's.
Taco John.
So like growing up in the 80s, there was no Taco Bell or any other like Mexican restaurants other than like one Taco John's in the North Metro.
I would want to go. Was it good?
Taco John's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's like a competitor to Taco Bell.
Oh,
The
okay, I
tortillas were
gotcha.
fine, but yeah, you don't have Taco John's out in New York?
No, dude. We have Taco Bell. We've got like Chipotle, and we have legit like food trucks though, like
Oh,
served
yeah.
by actual Mexicans. So I mean, like,
Oh,
no, dude, fantastic food trucks here.
well, we got Taco Bells where we're served by Asians. We got a lot of Hmong people here.
dude. Oh yeah, yeah, I know the Hmong people. What's funny is there are a lot of these like quote unquote Chinese and Mexican fusion restaurants, and like it's all run by like Chinese people. So like the tacos are made by Chinese people too. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
how it is
well
here.
we got Asian restaurants that have Mexican guys working on them. We actually have there's a pizza place in Minneapolis that
Yeah.
the Mexican guys make the pizzas, and
But
they're
that's who's
awesome.
usually in the back. You know what I mean? That's usually, even here in the city, it's like, but you could make a great living fucking doing that. They make more than me, and I work in a CBD shop.
Oh, if you work in the right restaurant, heck yeah, man.
You make some loot, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so that seems like a pretty standard Americana answer. So I'm gonna put that one in the classy pile. All right.
All right, all
What
right.
was your family vacation like?
What family vacation? The only time we'd have a family vacation was driving to Texas to see our relatives.
Okay.
And then we got into camping because there's nothing cheaper than, you know, sleeping
Yeah.
in the dirt and bringing your own food to eat.
Camping is
So-
all right though. That's kind of like, I wish I did a little bit more of that. I went to really cheesy places like Hershey Park, like Six Flags, but that was a treat. We barely did that.
Oh yeah.
And I understand, like, my mom couldn't, like, I asked Backpack B, like, where he went, and he was like, we didn't go on vacations that much, but I spent a lot of time at the lake house. I'm like, what the fuck, a lake house? Like, this
I
guy-
know. What?
He's like, yo, was your
You
dad
have a
the
whole
mayor?
separate house just
Like-
to go to the lake?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, and with Bearded Gear, he was like, yeah, we had a lake, we had like a boathouse where it was like you could fit, it was like a house, but it was like floating on the
His
lake.
house
I'm like,
his boat has a house.
I'm like, you guys fucking grew up with money, bro. You know what I mean? Like, no one had
Yeah.
a boat.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'd go to the big treat here in Minnesota is the Minnesota State Fair.
Okay.
Like rich or poor, you gotta go. Like
The
it's
state fair.
the Minnesota State Fair, the number one state fair on the planet. Well, I guess
Mhm.
in the States,
Mhm.
and it's nothing. Obviously it didn't happen this last year, but I go there and eat every crazy thing you can find
Yeah.
on a stick that's deep fried and battered.
I would
Gain
love to go
10
to that.
pounds in 3 hours and watch every weirdo you know from across the land show up. It's glorious.
I would love that, but I think I have to file that one in the trash pile.
Yes.
All right, let's go with do you or anyone in your family buy scratch off lottery tickets?
I just bought some this week.
That's my boy right there. I love them. I don't buy them anymore, but I do love receiving them. The follow-up question would be, have you ever given scratch off lottery tickets as Christmas gifts?
Who does it? It's like, I don't know what this person wants. I'm just gonna give them some scratch offs.
That's awesome. I love receiving them, but apparently, according to the podcast, the Are You Garbage podcast, that is the trashy answer.
Oh man.
It's not classy because you're not gonna see like a senator like give his family scratch off tickets. You know what I mean?
Well, wait till
Right.
I'm senator.
They're not
I
cool
guess.
like us. I'll wait
Yeah.
till I'm senator.
I'll change that.
Do you leave butter on the counter or keep it in the fridge?
That's a good question. Well, I haven't had butter in a long time. I developed a dairy sensitivity a couple years ago, and so
no ice cream, no nothing.
Well, that's a saving grace when I'm trying to diet, not having ice cream. Though, like I said, I love pizza, so every once in a while I'll take a hit and be out for a night.
Damn. So
But
just like not lactose intolerant, but kind of like
I've
got
never
some
got it
lactose
checked
problem.
out, but basically it's lactose intolerant. Like
You
I
grow
get gut,
that happens. That happens.
I
When you
get
get
I
older.
get gut bubbles, and I better be near a
Oh
bathroom. That's all I can
shit.
say.
Yeah,
But
I know people. My sister-in-law is like that. Like she,
yeah, but I don't know. I think we kept it on. We kept it everywhere. I don't know, table and fridge. We had too much butter. This is
okay.
dairy country up here, man.
Yeah, but then you would probably keep it in the fridge. It'll go bad, right?
Nah, I think we kept it on the table.
What? That's the trash pile, man. That's fucking. It's dairy, bro. It's gonna
We
spoil.
I don't know. We used enough of it. I guess we ate it before it spoiled.
All right. How do you like hot dogs?
Oh, dude,
How do you cook your hot dogs?
that's my fourth.
How do you cook your hot dogs?
Boil them, man.
Boil them. That is the lowest one. I do like a boiled dog, though.
Dude, it's just faster. You
I
know,
love
they're
it.
fully cooked. The boiling cleans off any other sorts
Yeah.
of weird stuff that was on them. Yeah, man.
I think grilled is is a classy answer on that one. Is a connoisseur, I guess, but
It's either that or roasting them over the fire. But yeah, I don't think I've ever.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat.
I'll eat
Heck,
them anyway, bro.
Does
Microwave them. I don't
microwaved
care.
hot dog? Yeah, I was
That
gonna say
is probably the lowest.
that's worse
That
than
is-
boiled.
That is probably the lowest, man, because you just don't have, you just can't wait. You just want to eat right away.
Yeah, man, I ain't got time for that. Yeah.
Have you ever flashed or mooned anyone?
Not intentionally.
Okay.
I was backpacking the summer, man, and it was hot.
Yeah.
And when you're trucking along, it was so hot and moist, and I was just ripe, and I had to dip into a creek
Yeah.
just to cool off and clean off. And I'm sure someone walked by and saw the whitest full moon you could ever see. So, but intentionally, no, I've never intentionally mooned anyone.
Classy. Put that in the class pile right there.
Oh, there he goes.
Okay, so do you drink?
No, I do not.
Oh my god.
So here's a fun fact.
Okay.
I've never had alcohol.
Okay, so you're kind of neck and neck with the trash and the classy, but I think you moved up a few points with that answer right there, because
Yeah.
anytime I hear that about anyone, I'm like, that's all class. That's crazy.
I don't know if it's
class right there.
well,
Yeah.
thanks. I don't know if it's classy. It's just something I've never been interested in. It's something I've never had a beer. I've never
Wow.
had a shot. I've never drank nothing.
That eliminates a lot of things on this list that I can
Oh
ask you.
boy.
No, that's awesome. Were you a Hellman's or a Miracle Whip family?
Ooh, neither.
You don't like mayonnaise?
Don't like mayonnaise, man.
I'll take
No
that as
mayo.
classy. I will take that as classy. What did you get on your SATs?
Oh, what's it out of?
Like
I don't
it's
even remember.
I think like anything over 1,000, you can get into a lot of colleges.
Maybe I only took the ACT. I don't think I took the SAT.
And that was the one that went up to 30, right?
Yeah, I think I got like
What did-
18. I did not score well. I was not doing well.
That's like an 800 something. Okay.
It was a bad day. I needed a fidget. I don't know, man.
I never took it, so like we're both in the garbage.
Yeah.
I'll see you in there. It's like you open the lid to go inside, and I'm in there like, what's up, bro? Like, all right.
You didn't miss much. It wasn't that fun.
All right. Let me ask you a few more here. Let's see. Has anyone in your family gone to watch or has ever been involved in a monster truck show?
Not. I mean, I think my nephews went once, but
That's
it isn't
okay.
like
They're little
it's
kids.
not like a big thing. I mean, it's something I don't know. It'd be fun to do.
You weren't into Bigfoot or Gravedigger or anything?
Oh, I thought the themes were great, but I was
the
like,
truck was crazy.
That's cool.
All right.
I'd rather look for a real Bigfoot. I don't know.
That's well.
Yeah, no, not to vehicle sports at all.
Okay.
So-
All right. Okay. So we're gonna put that in the classy answer then.
Nice.
That
was simple.
Okay, this is one that usually gets a lot of people if they grew up a little bit on the sketchy side.
right.
Did your mom use Cool Whip containers or other containers as storage for something else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, you're breaking up on me a little bit. You may have to repeat it. Um, so we are
Like,
losing the
oh,
guest right now. Okay,
I'm
you
like,
did.
where is it?
All right, you're back now. You're back now. So
Oh, I lost
that
the
was
connection.
yeah, that was a yes to the answer, right? That was a yes to the answer.
Yes.
What was it?
As yeah, we always store stuff in like leftover containers. So
Okay.
when you're like, when your mom would be like, "Oh yeah, there's leftover mashed potatoes or something,"
So it was food. It was food.
yeah, it's food, and you
Okay.
look and you're like, "Which one is it?" And then you're opening up all sorts of stuff, and you're like, never find it. Or then when
Okay.
you actually want when you actually want cool-up, you can't find it because there's like green beans in the dish.
You like open the Cool Whip container. I'm inside, and like we're both garbage. No, so my mom, even to this day, you know those it's like a tin. It's blue and it's usually
Like the
cookies.
cookies. Yeah,
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 and
yeah.
my mom has sewing supplies in it up to this day.
Dude,
Your mom ever?
yeah. I actually watched this. There's a Native American YouTuber, him and his
Mhm.
buddy do a channel, and they all they do is look at like native memes.
Yeah.
And there's one where like somebody's like, "Oh yeah, when you think your grandma got you cookies, and you open up it's her sewing stuff,"
Yep.
and it's
Yep.
just like,
Yep.
yeah,
Any immigrant family, I feel like, has done that.
yeah. They have
Yep.
a tremendous ability
Yeah.
to recycle and reuse
Yep.
containers.
Dude, that's efficiency, bro. That's efficiency. Save the immigrant plan is always save every cent that you have so that you can own a business like 10 years later. Like don't buy your kids new shoes and stuff, but then in 10 years you'll have a business that your kids can either take over or like they can springboard off that to other things, which is
Yeah, but did your mom ever make you wear bread bags on your feet when you went to school in the winter?
I've never had to wear bread bags. I've never had to wear bread bags. Yeah, I've never had to. But I did have to. I never had like all the best clothes. I feel like my mom kept it classy, like as much as she could, because
Yeah.
I told the story on so many podcasts recently where like in the Philippines we were rich. I mean like filthy. Like
Oh,
we had a mansion. My dad was always poor. He couldn't even afford electricity, so he studied with a kerosene lamp, and he told me his boogers would be black by the end of the night and stuff like that. But he was valedictorian his whole life, graduated with honors, became president of a big bank, and then we were rich, bro. And what happened was at that time in the 80s, the Philippines was under a dictatorship.
mm-hmm.
And then the dictatorship was overthrown, and we also got all our money taken away.
Oh
So
yeah,
when we came to America, like I couldn't have the GI Joes or the He-Man or the Transformers that I see at Toys R Us. You know, I didn't
yeah.
understand why, but I learned later that's what happened. But
How old were you when you came over here?
I think I think 7 years old. So
Okay,
1988 or 1987 is when I came here, and I was born 1981.
okay.
So, you know, I didn't, fuck, dude, when I got to America, I was like, you guys have cartoons all day. It was on Cartoon Network. I was like, what the
Yeah,
hell? This Scooby-Doo, it's like freaking, you know, it's like 8 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was wild. But yeah, that's basically like our story. So my mom just learned how to cut corners, but still kind of like keep it classy.
yeah,
That's what, you know, immigrant moms did, I feel.
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, sewing supplies in the fucking cookie tin to this day.
That's a must-have. Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you a few more questions here, and then I'm gonna go. Man, you don't drink, so I can't ask you this stuff. What was your go-to fast food establishment as a kid?
As a kid, well, there used to be Hardee's used to be right down the street from my house, so we'd go there like on Sundays.
Was that better?
McDonald's.
McDonald's is the top answer. So
It was weird. Hardee's was cool though. Hardee's
yeah.
back in like the 80s and 90s was cool because they sold everything. You could get a burger, you could get roast beef sandwich, you could get hot
Damn.
dogs, you could get fried chicken.
Oh,
Hardee's used to be like they had so much stuff on their menu, and they had the best cinnamon raisin like glazed like breakfast biscuits. Oh, they were fantastic.
That sounds
But
great.
but I say overall, like growing up through high school, White Castle is my go-to.
That is absolute trash, my friend. Check, please. Garbage.
Dude,
All right. No, I love White Castle, by the
dude,
way.
late nights at White Castle. Oh, it is
Dude,
crazy times. Good
that
times
is
with my buddies.
Well, that's crazy because that's like drunk food. That's like drunk or stoner food almost.
So does
you
that
know?
make
So
me
it's
more
like,
trash that I eat it
no.
sober?
He's trying to blend in.
It's like, yeah, I'm drunk.
I've had White Castle, I want to say, like, I forgot who bought it, man. He bought a Crave case.
Oh,
Yeah, we
classic.
had a Crave case, bro. We were just eating it, and Kelly, my fiance, never had it, and she was like, "I think I had these once," and I was in the bathroom for like a day. It doesn't do much to me. I like it. I don't know.
I don't know. I dig them. I still get them when I
It's
can.
steamed. It's steamed, man.
Yeah, it's a family-owned business too, and it's one of the oldest. If without White Castle, we wouldn't have modern day fast food. So,
I'm not even gonna ask you some of these. Like, do you have tattoos? That answer is no, right?
no, I'm pretty straight edge in
Okay,
that way.
cool,
No
cool.
piercings, no tattoos.
All right. You know what? You're not making a good case here, though. All right. So this is a bonus question right here. You're eating chicken wings and realize you have to pee. You head to the bathroom. Do you A, wash your hands first, then pee, or B, pee first, then wash your hands?
I've experienced this before. I've learned my lesson. Wash your hands.
Okay. Follow-up question. So wash your hands first, then pee, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Follow-up question. After you pee, do you wash your hands again?
Yes, especially if I'm eating chicken wings.
That's
if it's
a
bone
challenge.
in, you're bringing that hand to your mouth. You gotta wash the hands.
Okay. That's the gentleman's answer. A lot of men that I've asked have said no to the second time. So
I'm not eating out their basket. I'm not
yeah,
eating their
somebody
chicken
was,
wings.
I forgot who said it, but they were like, that's why we have fucking COVID.
Yeah.
I think it was Zach stuff.
Oh man.
So much. Well, I mean, no further questions, Your Honor. I think we have a 50-50 split here.
Oh, what?
50% class, 50% garbage. But you, my friend, you're all class to me.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, sir.
This was fun, bro.
No, great questions, man. You came prepared.
It was funny, right? It was
no.
The first half of it, I always feel it out. And you know what? I'm going to give you a little bit of advice here. Anytime that you can do these, I think you should do it because you're a very good guest. You speak very well. Maybe that's from the 6 years of YouTube.
Something I didn't learn it in school. I was just kidding.
Yeah, because this is very easy to talk to you, man. Is there any? Let the people know where they can find you. Hey, Robbie, stop it! My cat is like trying to attack my poster here.
I love cats.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Oh, here we go. Cat time.
Come here. You want to play around?
Oh, you got fluffy cats, man.
Yeah, this is my cat, Robbie. His full name is Robin Williams.
Oh, nice.
So you could do anything you want to him, like literally anything. He's the most patient cat in the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he does not care what you do.
That is amazing. I don't think I've ever seen a cat
he's awesome. I have another one named Frank Sinatra. He's a little meaner.
Awesome.
Yeah, but dude, let people know where they can follow you. Instagram and YouTube.
I'm Moose. My YouTube channel is Moose's Gear Goo Review. You can find it on YouTube. And then I do have an Instagram page. You can follow me over there. I think it's Moose's GGR, so I shortened it a little bit. Otherwise, if you check out any of my videos, I have it linked in the description below.
And I'm gonna put all the font on the bottom and in the description, of course.
Awesome.
Dude, it was awesome having you. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help out. I really want you to keep going. I like what you're doing. I love the vibe of your channel. And I think you're all class to me, my friend. But yeah, thanks for doing this. Thanks for doing this. You're welcome on anytime.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a great thing. I'm glad you moved into podcasting. I definitely see your influences through your podcasts.
I'm trying, bro.
And even your videos, man, with like the 3 different camera angles and stuff. So,
dude, you know what's crazy is like the triple camera and all I second guess myself all the time where it's like, I do a video and then I'm like, bro, you're just so fucking lazy. That's why you do this. Like, get with the B-roll, do what you used to do before. And I'm just like,
dude, that's what popped your channel up for me. When I first saw that video, I was like, holy cow.
What's dope about it stuff, right? What's dope about it? What's whack about it stuff?
Like, dude, that's
a 6-hour endeavor to do that.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, if you're not used to editing, you won't respect the work that people put into the editing of their
Mhm.
videos. And so
Yeah.
like with you, when I first saw your channel, I think you had like a ninja episode, and I just remember you cutting in like different shots, and I was like, holy cow! I still don't get why he has band-aids on his thumbs, but this dude put in work. And then like Backpack Beat, I saw that and I was like, this dude must have spent forever on this, that or he's
Yeah.
a whiz at what he does. And so
Yeah.
I have mad respect for anyone that has like puts in editing. Even JT's Knife Life, I've seen him lately splicing in stuff, and
Yeah.
he said he talked to you, I think initially he mentioned it before, that that you helped him out with some of that. And
Yeah.
but I agree. I think you're right when it comes to our knife channels. Like for all our smaller knife YouTubers, how are we going to age with the coming generations? We have to evolve. We have to tie in, music and lighting and
Yeah.
stuff, because now there's younger dudes that are jumping into it and they're just blowing up because they have that all down. And so, but I like what you're doing, man. The podcast stuff is just awesome. The guests you have are interesting. Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much, man. You're definitely welcome here anytime. This is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray, and Moose saying peace.
Peace out.
Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.